students, I hope you all are doing well. I am Miss Harpreet. Welcome you all to RKP online classes. Today I am going to discuss chapter 13 of your SS book, which is the beginning of the British rule in India. So students, come to page number 97. On page 97, a big idea is given that what we are going to read in this chapter. What we will be reading in this chapter, that is the coming of the British to India. Next is the wars fought to gain control of India. Next, strengthening of the English East India's Company power, EEIC's power, and then is revolt of 1857. So on page 97, you can see that here picture is given. And in this picture, students, the conversation is going on between two friends, that is Ria and Tina. Because they both are preparing for the history exam, which will be conducting in their school tomorrow. Right? And they are preparing for their exam. But one friend asked from other friend that, do you remember which European power came to India first? Then other friend replied, yes, it is the Britishers who came to India first. But she denied, no, it's not the Britishers who came to India first. Then again she replied, yes, I remember, it is the Portuguese who came to India first. Do you remember, students, in previous chapter we have learned, in Age of Exploration chapter, we have learned the explorations of different explorers such as Bartholomew Dias, Ferdinand Magellan, Christopher Columbus and Vasco da Gama. And maybe you all know which Portuguese sailor came to India. Yes, it is Vasco da Gama. In the year 1498, Vasco da Gama was the first Portuguese sailor who directly sailed from Europe to India via the Cape of Good Hope. But who discovered the Cape of Good Hope? Yes, it is Bartholomew Dias. So, in 1498, the Portuguese sailor Vasco da Gama started his journey from Europe via the sea route. He entered into India. In which part of India he reached? Yes, that is the Calicut, which is in Kerala. But at the time of his third expedition, expedition means when someone traveled to an unknown place for a purpose, for a special purpose, that is the term expedition here. So at the time of his third expedition to India, he died on the eve of Christmas in Cochin, which is now known as Kochi, right? But one more question arises, why they wanted to come India? If you remember, I told you also in the class that they wanted to come for a purpose, that is the trading purpose, for mercantile purpose, for earning more and more profit, for doing the business, for doing the trading with the Indian countries. Why so? Because as you know, India was very famous for its resources. Resources such as spices. Spices example cardamom, cinnamon or black pepper, peppers and certain kind of spices, cloves, etc. So India was very famous for its resources, silk, cotton and spices. That's why they wanted to come to India for trading purpose so that they can buy the goods from India. They wanted to sell them in European markets for earning more and more profit. This was their purpose, that is mercantile purpose, for earning the more and more profit by selling those goods in the European markets. Right. So now come to page number 98. On page 98, a flowchart is given here. In this flowchart, what we shall learn, that is the coming of the Europeans. So as I told you, the first people who came to India was the Portuguese. Portuguese were the first who came to India via the sea route, right? So the Portuguese were the first Europeans who came to India via the sea route, and the name of that Portugal sailor is Vasco da Gama, who reached in India in the year 1498, right? After that, after the Portuguese, later the French and the Dutch, they came into India. Now here the Dutch are the natives. They are the group of people of the Netherlands. And Netherlands, students, is a small country of the Europe continent. And French people from the France and the Dutch people from the Holland, they came to India, and why they wanted to come to India, why they came to India? Yes, the purpose was same, trading purpose. After that, the English East India Company came to India. So one by one we will be discussing about it. So first come to this point, that is the coming of the British, right? The Portuguese led the way in finding a new sea route to Asia. That means the Portugal, Vasco da Gama was the first who reached in India. Okay? He led the way in finding a new sea route because they traveled via sea. Okay? They sailed via sea. Here sailed means traveling on water via ship or boat. So Portuguese means the Portugal, Vasco da Gama led the way in finding a new route to Asia. Purpose is trading purpose. They wanted to do the trading, they wanted to do the business with the Indian companies. They set up factory in Cochin. After entering India, after this, they set up factory in Cochin, which is now known as Kochi, and Goa also. This led other traders from the Holland, France and Britain to sail to India. When they saw that the Portuguese, they had set up a factory in Cochin and Goa also, and they are running a lot of profit because they used to buy the goods from from the Indian countries. Okay, and they used to sell those goods in their Europe continent, market of Europe continent, and they earned a lot of profit because of that. So when they saw that they are running a lot of profit, why can't us? We will also go in India, we will also establish our companies there. This motivated the other traders also to enter into India. So this led other traders from Holland. Holland means the Dutch people. The Dutch people, as I told you, the Dutch is the natives of the Netherlands, and Netherlands is a small country of the France. So the Dutch people from Holland, French people from France, and the Britishers from the Britain to sail. Sail, as I told you, traveling on water via ship or boat to India. So this motivated the other traders also to come to India to establish their countries in India. So now here I have written something, that is all companies were interested in. As I told you that India was very famous for its resources. Resources like silk, cotton and various kind of spices like cinnamon, cardamom, pepper, cloves, etc. So these companies were very interested in the resources of the India. That's why first there was only Portuguese, only they had established their factory in Cochin and Goa. At that time there was very less competition. But when these people saw that they are running a lot of profit, we will also set up our industry in India. So because of that, the competition increased. So the demand of the Indian products also got increased. Then the Indian companies also increased the prices of their products. But the profits which they were earning, the other people from other countries were earning, now the profits of that company got decreased. How? Let's do it with one example. Suppose I am having one marker and the cost of this marker is 10 rupees. And only one buyer is there to buy this marker from me. Okay, so I used to sell them at 10 rupees. Okay, and but that buyer, after purchasing from me, he is selling that marker in the market at 12 rupees. Now the profit of that buyer is 2 rupees, right? But when other people is seeing that he is earning the profit, we will also buy the marker from this particular seller and we will also sell them in the market. Okay, now the demand of my marker has increased. So what I will do, I will increase my price. So now suppose the price of my marker is 11 rupees. Now the profit which my buyer was earning was 2 rupees. But now if he or she is selling the same marker at 12 rupees only. Okay, now his profit got decreased. Now the profit is only 1 rupees, na? Right? So in the same way, the people from Europe continent, the Portuguese, earlier they used to buy the good at lower prices and they used to sell that good at higher prices. Their profits were very high. But when these traders, the traders from different countries, when they entered into India, right? So the competition increases, then demand of the product, Indian product, the demand of these products got increased. The India has also increased the prices. After that, the profit of the company got reduced. Okay, profit of these companies got reduced. Then this motivated the East India Company also to come and to do the trade with the Indian company. Now student, we will discuss about the English East India Company, which was also known as the trading company because their motive was to do the trading with India. Right, as you know that India was very famous for its resources, the resources such as silk, cotton, various kind of spices and indigo. And the demand of the product of India was worldwide. So what happened in the year 1600, the English East India Company acquired the permission, acquired the charter from Queen Elizabeth I, who was the Queen of the England at that time. So they went to Queen Elizabeth I first in order to ask from her that we want to go to India for trading purpose, for seeking the permission from Queen Elizabeth I. After that, the Queen Elizabeth I, she gave the permission that yes, you can go to the India for trading purpose. So in 1600, English East India Company acquired the permission from Queen Elizabeth I to conduct the trading in India, right? But English East India Company, only they were the first who got the permission from Queen Elizabeth I to start trading with India. That means no other country from the England can go to India, can come to India for trading purpose. But because they got the sole right for that, but still they were facing the competition from the different countries. For an example, they were facing the competitions from Dutch, French and Portuguese, because as I told you earlier that Portuguese were the first who came to India and set up their industry in Cochin and Goa. After that, the people from France and the people from the Dutch, Holland, they also came to India. Okay, so they were facing the competition. After that, in the year 1615, the Mughal Emperor Jahangir, because at the time of independence 1947, our country were under the control of the Nawabs, the Jamindars or the Mughals. Okay, at the time of independence, there were 565 princely states. Princely states means the states which were under the control of the Nawabs, Zamindars or Mughals. But directly they all were under the control of the Britishers. Their head was Britishers. Right. So in 1615, the Mughal Emperor Jahangir allowed English East India Company, here them means English East India Company, to set up their first factory in Surat. That means the Mughal Emperor Jahangir gave the permission to the English East India Company that yes, you can set up your factory. In first, that's why they set up their first factory in Surat, which is in Gujarat. Next, in the year 1623, the British had set up their factories in Surat, which is in Gujarat, Broch, which is now known as Bharuch, which is also in Gujarat, a city of Gujarat, Agra, which is a city of Uttar Pradesh, then Ahmedabad, which is again city of the Gujarat. After that, in 1615, they set up only one factory, which is in Surat, which is in Gujarat. After that, they set up so many factories in Surat, Broch, Agra and Ahmedabad. They set up their factories in these places also. They also fortified, they also made a strong buildings, a strong walls so that they can protect themselves from the enemies, because their motive was they want to capture the land of, they want to conquer the land of India. This was their main motive. So they also fortified some factories and some trading centers in India, like Fort William in Calcutta, known as Kolkata, a fort at Bombay, which is now in Mumbai, Bombay, which is now known as Mumbai, and Fort George, which is in Madras, which is now known as Chennai. So this is about the English East India Company.